Hi, everyone. Welcome to the PokeBeach.com podcast. I'm John. I go by Water Pokemon Master on the website, and I am joined, as always, by the wonderful,
Justin Basil of justinbasil.com. Here we are.
who is wearing his professor shirt because he is about to go to a pre-release,
Yep.
to run a
I'll
pre-release.
be helping judge one. Yep.
Nice. We
Yep.
actually have news for Temporal Forces this week, so that fits right in.
Mhm.
All right, we're going to jump right in. So here is the website. What is the first news story we should go over?
Let's talk about the Temporal Forces pre-release promos.
That sounds great. Let
I
me
feel like
pull
that
it.
seems very appropriate right now.
Yeah. So the Temporal Forces pre-release promos have been revealed. They're for Alligator, Metang, Koraidon, and Miraidon. All reprints from Wild Force and Cyber Judge or from the Temporal Forces main set, but with alternate artwork. Wait, what should we say? What do you want to talk about? If they're any good?
I mean, they're all good to a
Yeah.
degree, right? Alligator is a great fringe deck for standard. I think it's probably not especially competitive out of the gate, but in a different format, this is extremely good. It's a very fun deck to play. We were testing it on my channel. It's when it can set up against its opponent, it's amazing. If its opponent is a multi-prizer, it's a very fun deck, but it does have issues. Matang also similarly really good card. Get taking the top 4 off your deck and just getting whatever metal out and then putting the rest in the bottom makes it super good. If you have several men, you can be digging through quite a few cards to get energy attachments. And if you're like my friend Ryan, you will hit 2 off of every single metal maker you use. It's just his luck. And then Koraidon, Primordial Beatdown, very good for your ancient box decks. Of course, Roaring Moon is the star of that, but Koraidon is still part of that deck. So also very playable. And then the Broken Man himself, this Miraidon, especially in pre-release, is an absolute menace.
Yeah.
It turns out peak acceleration is very peak because that 40 damage adds up quickly. And if you are even luckier and get your like an Iron Crown, it's insane. Also, the kit this one comes with a feature booster energy capsule, so you're also boosting your damage by 20 already. It's absurd. You're going to be knocking a lot of stuff out with it.
Should I be posting those lists? Do you post them on justinbasil.com?
They're on my site. I have
Okay.
them. Yes, I have them up on my site.
So check out justinbasil.com if you want to see what's in the pre-release kits for the pre-constructed decks. I never really post those because they're
Yeah, and I'll be tweeting out to where to find it here in a little bit.
nice. Let's jump to also the store promotions for this set. So there's a bit of mystery here. So we've learned that starting March 22nd, which is when Temporal Forces releases in stores, GameStop will be giving out a Koraidon promo, and presumably this means Best Buy will be giving out Miraidon because they always release different pairs. Both are reprints from the set. You'll have to spend $15 on Pokemon TCG products to receive them. They are the ones we just talked about on in terms of their stats, the Miraidon with peak acceleration and whatever. But we have the card images right now for the European promotion, which shows that they are printed on the Galaxy holofoil paper, which is, everybody's favorite holofoil paper. We don't know right now if these are going to also be printed on Galaxy holofoil in America. We get our own pre-release promos, and they typically have the GameStop one has a GameStop stamp, and the Best Buy one has just the set stamp, the set logo, and they're usually reverse holo. But that could change with this set. We'll have to see, because this was obviously a conscious decision on Pokemon's part to release the European one on Galaxy holofoil. So maybe they'll do it here too. We'll see. We'll get images in the next 2 weeks.
I hope that they just use the Cosmos Holofoil going forward for those. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's going to be a promo, it makes sense that it would use it anyway.
Exactly. Like they always use Galaxy holofoil for promos now, so I don't know why they don't extend that to the store promotion cards. Like it just makes them extra special. And and we all, the fandom universally seems to agree that Galaxy holofoil is the best holofoil. And I've been tweeting for years, like, please bring it back, please bring it back, please bring it back. And they finally brought it back. So I'm a very happy camper. That Cerulege Pokemon Day promo was absolutely beautiful in Cosmos
Did you end
Holofoil.
up picking one up?
No, but I did see one in person.
Oh, you saw one in
I
person.
saw
Okay.
one in person.
So you got your
But
fix of the Cosmos
I
Holofoil. Got
did.
it.
But it's just personally I just am not really collecting that much anymore. It's just I we've talked about it before how I'm just tired of owning things. I'm just tired of it. So I think I'm just happy now getting things once in a while and then sticking to my eras, which were base set through Diamond and Pearl era. I think those are my favorites. So I'm happy just staying there for now. Maybe one day if I become a millionaire, I'll expand. I don't know. Anyway. All right. So those are the store promos. We should have the images, the card images in 2 weeks. So we'll find out if we also get Cosmos Holofoil. But something tells me, I don't know. I feel like.
Yeah.
I just
We'll see.
feel like. Yeah.
Are we just jaded? Let us know in the comments. Are we just jaded?
I feel like they're just gonna be reverse hollows or something. That ugly
Yeah,
GameStop with that ugly GameStop stamp. Anyway, yeah. Then you're really gonna get people comparing American and European releases there. All right. What's our next news story of the week?
Let's keep talking about Temporal Forces and its set list.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so Temporal Forces, the pre-releases are this weekend. Obviously, we have the set list now. It'll have 218 cards, 162 in the main set, 56 secret rare cards. This actually makes it the smallest regular set of the Scarlet and Violet era and the smallest regular set we've gotten since 2021's Battle Styles. And I remember originally we kind of thought they might throw Crimson Haze into this, but they didn't. Even though they released on the exact same day in both Japan and America. So, yeah, they decided to keep it small this time, which is, I guess, nice, especially since we had, what was it? What did we have right before this? We had, was it 151? What did we have?
Fades.
What did we have? Paldean, yeah, sorry, Paldean Fates.
Yeah.
I just rolled out of bed. We had Paldean Fates right before this, and then we're also getting Twilight Masquerade, 2.5 months after this as well. So it's nice they made it a little smaller for us this time. The set list was, as I mentioned, the story, entirely predictable. So there aren't really any surprises. The set introduces A-spec cards, as we already knew. There will not be a Build and Battle Stadium releasing alongside the set. They were first introduced in Evolving Skies in 2021, but it seems Pokemon has discontinued them. They came with 2 Build and Battle boxes and a brick of energy cards and some packs for $20 more, and they just, I don't know. I don't think fans really liked them because they pile up with the energy cards and everything, and I don't know. What do you think about them?
I mean, I think they were a cool idea for like a little pre-release at home, but
Yeah.
that kind of pre-release at home mentality doesn't really need to exist anymore.
Yeah.
Game stores are open. We're good to do stuff in person again.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, sorry, Paldean Fates it was. Why did I say 151? I mean, they released 2 holiday sets in a row, so. All right, and then I don't know what else should we talk about here. We've gone over like all these cards.
I mean, we've looked at these cards before. I mean, we can kind of highlight some of the official names that we've got. The one that's the ugliest of all of them, I think, is Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking.
Code Breaking.
What a mouthful.
It was originally Cryptomaniacs deciphering the way that you translated it, but they always.
Yeah.
In the TCG fandom, we're not sticklers for card name translations because TPCI just changes them anyway, or they, so
yeah,
we never expect them to be how we translate them.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking is a valid.
No, I'm not.
Name,
yeah,
like Cypher Maniac is not really a thing.
No,
it's like that's not a thing that exists. So meh.
I'm just like they will never translate it the way we do, or it's always.
I mean, they do sometimes. Like Adventure, was it?
Oh no, I meant
Explorer's Guidance.
I meant in this case, it definitely was not going to.
No, and more complex names like this now, they almost never do.
What else did you want to talk about in this set?
I'm just kind of the other names that were a little different. Stuff like Perilous. Was it Perilous Jungle?
Yeah.
Just kind of highlight so people can kind of get the official names in their heads. Buddy Poffin, because they felt the need to duplicate the word buddy in the name of Buddy Poffin.
Bianca's
Yeah, I
Devotion.
mean, devotion and yeah, it's just little things kind of be aware of, because a lot of us have been talking about these cards now already for 3-ish months, and we've got the fan translation names kind of stuck in our heads at this point, which is fair. Rescue board instead of emergency board, that was kind of a weird one, honestly. But
I kind
that's
of
what they went with.
Yeah, because the emergency was like you can see on the skateboard.
Yeah.
It looks like a emergency vehicle light, but they changed it to rescue. So
Yeah. But yeah, the set is good. It's a pretty good one. I'm very much looking forward to rotation. I'm looking forward to seeing what Temporal Forces meta looks like. We have seen a few interesting decks come out of it. I went to a pre-release last night. I ran a pre-release last night, rather. And we had 2 people pull A-Specs. One was Neo Upper, and the other was the Awakening Drum. So hopefully Prime Catcher is findable. That's all I'm going to say about it.
what do the pull rates seem to be so far? Do we know?
They seem to be pretty average. They seem to be basically what we've seen for a whole Scarlet era.
I mean, for like an A-Spec, like what does it seem like? Is it like a 2 per
I don't
box,
have
or?
nearly enough data for that. We're going to have to wait till somebody like TCG Player drops that out.
Yeah. All right. So this set comes out on the 22nd officially, and
Yes, and pre-releases are this weekend. Go support your local game stores. They'll also be running next weekend. Most of your big pre-releases will be this weekend, though, because that's when people really want to get their hands on the cards. So definitely hit your game stores up, play in your pre-releases, get the new cards early, and have some fun with them.
That just gave me an idea, actually. My friend, last night, I live in LA. My friend was saying that it's so hard to make friends in LA, and I suggested we go to Pokemon League. But actually, this might be a better idea. Let's go to a pre-release and play, because he knows how to play.
Also, I will say for the record, the A-Specs, the pink ones, are beautiful in person. So
yeah, I saw
we don't need to be worried.
They look just like the Japanese ones, basically.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Let's see. What's our next news story? Battle Academy? Real quick.
Sure. This is kind of news we already know, but we can look at it.
Japan is getting Battle Academy on... oh, no. What am I saying? I'm in the wrong story. Wait, where's
No, you're
the
not.
other?
That's the right story.
Was
So
it?
Battle Academy, we already knew about Japan's Battle Academy.
Oh, was
we
that-
are getting a Battle Academy version of it on June 21st. It's going to feature 360 card decks. Japan's version had 4, so one of those decks is going to be pulled out. Most likely, in my opinion, it's probably going to be this Brigatito deck, simply because they made a promo of it. That's fine, whatever. They're just going to simplify the product down, make it a board game kind of product like they've done with the other 2. It's a very good product to get little kids into the game, get them introduced to the rule sets, and the cards are very, very simple. We had it's not linked here, but we have a full translation for all the cards that were revealed from the Japanese product. So
Yeah,
they're all very, very simple. But
I thought the Japanese one was this week. It was last week.
Yeah, it's already out.
Yeah. So in terms of how these cards are going to be released in America, so Japan got its Battle Academy product this week, which contains 48 brand new cards, 49 if you count Sprigatito, which we've already gotten. It's a rebranding of their Pokemon Family Box products that have released twice in the past. And for those Pokemon Family Box products, all of the cards were thrown into our Fusion Strike and Hidden Fate sets. So they've always dumped those sort of basic cards into our sets. And then they have then reprinted those cards in the Battle Academy products. So going off precedent, we expect all 48 of the Japanese Battle Academy cards to be thrown into our Twilight Masquerade set. And then the rest should be reprinted in this Battle Academy, this third Battle Academy coming out in June in English. So we'll see. That's what's happened twice before. But now Japan is using the name Battle Academy. So who knows? Maybe they'll keep it to just this product now. Maybe they'll have sort of synced products somehow. I don't know. But we'll find out soon.
I think it's just Battle Academy did so well here and got an award and everything that they want to keep that branding consistent.
Yeah, exactly. It won the Toy Fair Award or something like that. Best Product of the Year or something. And speaking of Twilight Masquerade, I got up 5 a.m.s in the row expecting it this week. But it's probably going to be next week. So the reveal of it. So we'll find out probably next week we'll find out the configuration of Twilight Masquerade, and then we'll know if these 48 cards from the Battle Academy are gonna be thrown into Twilight Masquerade. So yeah, all right.
Yeah, I think it will, but we'll see. Should we start hitting the card reveals from Crimson Haze? What do you think?
Sure. Let's talk about
Farigiraf.
The Farigiraf. We didn't talk about that last week. Oh, I am all confused today. Okay, Farigiraf and Giraffe Rig.
Farigiraf has mid rumble because the card is mid. It says this attack does 40 damage for each stage 1 you have in play. So that does mean stage 1. V-stars are not stage 1s. V-stars do not count. V-maxes don't either. Even though most V-maxes are going to be rotated by the time this is legal. So 40 times. So you can do okay damage, 6 to 40, right? It's okay. For a double turbo, you're going down to 220. So you have to accelerate some other way to get this. Maybe that's Xatu. Xatu would count toward it. So something to be aware of. And then your alternate attack is Psychic Colorless. Eerie Wave does 80 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused.
Yep.
Maybe in a different format, this would have been a really good card. As is, it's okay.
Here's the Giraffe Rig.
I would have loved to have seen something like, because it's very similar to Zoroark in the way it does its damage, Zoroark GX, and maybe just give it trade. That would have been amazing. Maybe too good, frankly, as a single prizer, but it would have been more interesting at least.
This
Shinji Kanda.
This giraffic artwork is very pretty.
Yeah, it's Shinji Kanda. I always highlight their artwork because it's so good all the time.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then what was the next? We had a full art.
The full art Perrin.
This got a lot of.
So this is just an art thing.
This got a lot of retweets because it's, I guess, a waifu card.
Yeah, she's a pretty popular character from.
Yeah, she's in the
game. So
Blood Moon Ursaluna plot in the Teal Mask. Okay, and then we had Ariados and Spinarak. Oh, this real quick. This Ariados artwork is so different than usual. I like it a lot.
Yeah. So you have Big Net. Your opponent's active evolution Pokemon's retreat cost is 1 colorless more. And then String Bind does 10 plus damage. This attack does 30 more damage for each colorless. And your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. This is very interesting because you have this exact same attack as an Ariados that's already and still currently in standard format. There's a dark type one. I believe it's from Astral or Lost Origin. I'm not sure which one. Exact same attack, exact same damage, but that's a dark type Ariados. So theoretically, you could run the two together. Although this one would boost the attack damage against evolution Pokemon, so you have to kind of weigh that against it. You could pair this up with Spidops EX from Scarlet and Violet base. But all in all, I think the damage output is just kind of underwhelming. And I really wish Big Net weren't just evolution Pokemon and wish it were just everything. But it's not, so boo.
I also missed this word when you first posted it. Evolution in the ability. Because it's like...
Yeah, it's been there the whole time.
Huh?
It's been there the whole time.
No, I know. No, I mean, I missed it when I... it's interesting because... in the past few years, you've been helping me post stories and everything, and it's the first time I've been able to like read my own website articles that I haven't posted. So I kind of see things now that sometimes people miss words and stuff, and I see now that it happens. Even
no, because you're doing it.
yeah, exactly. Like I was yeah. All right, and then although missing whole sentences and paragraphs and things that are answered in the first line of the news story that they ask questions about. I don't understand that. We've talked about that before.
We have.
Okay, survival
Let's talk about survival cast.
I didn't read this yet. Can I read it? I want to read it.
Sure.
Survival cast, Pokemon tool, A-Spec. If the Pokemon this card attached to has full HP and would be knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, that Pokemon is not knocked out and its remaining HP becomes 10. Then discard this card. Okay, so this is Focus Band.
It is. It's Focus Sash, I think, right?
Or Sash or Band? Well, in the
Sash
Neo days, it was Focus Band. I think it's Focus Band, isn't it? Band. Okay.
Yeah, the most recent version of it is Focus Sash.
Okay.
So Focus Sash was specifically for fighting type Pokemon, and this one's for everything, but it's an ace spec.
This one should see play, right?
I think so. The biggest concern I have for is kind of the biggest concern I had for Hero Escape is that tool removal right now is very strong, and with
Oh.
Lost Vacuum, lost zoning your tool, if
Mm-hmm.
you time this poorly, you just don't get any use out of it, and you won't get it back.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be
So
complete
it's a
waste.
cool card, and it's a very strong card, but it is at risk of being, whacked away.
They come up with some
It's
weird.
kind of kinky looking. I'm not gonna lie. I do not like the artwork for it at all.
Yeah, I don't know how they come up with these machines. It's like, what am I looking
Yeah.
at? What is this thing?
Ye-
What is this mirror thing? It's
It
like,
it's a collar, I think.
oh, okay. Well, we won't get into.
I just don't want to. I don't want to look at the artwork too close because it doesn't look like it doesn't look like what it's supposed to be. How's that?
All
It looks
right.
like a very different kind of suit.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's not great.
Okay. All right. What's our? All right. Let's just do this real quick. New Pokemon Center sleeves have been announced for March. Obviously, themed. Oh, these are in Japan, themed after the release of Crimson Haze. The interesting thing to note here is that there are sleeves with a fighting type Tera Greninja, which probably means that the one that was shown in the preview up to Pokemon Day last week will in fact be in Crimson Haze, fighting type Terra Greninja EX. So we should expect to see that. I saw some people say that Lana would be in this set because she's getting a sleeve, but I don't really fully think that's
Oh come on! If you
confirmation.
if Bianca's gonna get one because she had a sleeve, I think we can. It's fairly safe to say that Lana will too.
Well, they feature characters sometimes that aren't human characters that don't turn into cards in the set, but I don't know, maybe yeah.
I think it's still quite likely that we get a Lana card. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, but it's still pretty likely.
Mm.
And frankly, Lana's a all of the girls from Sun and Moon were very popular, so I
Yeah.
think it's not it's not unlikely that we would get a Lana.
Oh God, and then there was some people posting about X and Y this week on Twitter because of the Pokemon ZA, and they were showing the human characters, and I'm like, oh God, those rivals from Kalos sucked. Like the guy with the orange bowl cut and what were their names again? Do you remember?
I
They're
remember Tierno, Shauna,
yeah,
and
Shauna. I remember Shauna. The
Shauna was fine. What was the third one?
the orange bowl cut guy. Anyway, those designs were horrible. Sun and Moon was awesome. Like these characters were very unique. Those ones were annoying.
Trevor.
And, yeah, Trevor. That's
Trevor
right.
is the bowl cut.
Yeah. Sun and Moon had
But no,
good designs.
Sun and Moon's characters were all really cool. I
Yeah.
loved Sun and Moon's characters.
Mm-hmm.
X and Y character wise, the rivals were not that great. But
No.
I think that was true of Black and White also, and that was also true of Sword and Shield.
Black and
So
White was
it's
Bianca. What's his face?
Bianca, Sharon, and
Bianca Sharon.
am I forgetting
Is that
everyone?
it? They all blend together to me. The generations. It's hard for me to. I have to sit down and think. Bianca, Sharon, and wasn't that
Is
it?
that it? That's it, right?
Yeah,
I think that's it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was there trying to make a think of a third, but that's not Black and White didn't do three.
And then obviously
At least not in the original games.
we have Perrin here because she's gonna be in the set. It's a Blood Moon Ursaluna set. Okay, and then what's our next news story? Let's go real quick over. There are new Paradox Clash tins releasing on May 24th, featuring promos of Walking Wake EX or Iron Leaves EX, which are reprints from Temporal Forces, but with brand new artwork we have not seen in Japan yet. Presumably, we don't know how we're gonna get these. We don't know how Japan is going to get these alternate art prints of these two, but presumably they are starting. The American card game now is starting to generate these alternate art cards that will be in their end of the year set. That's what I think, at least, because they always have an end of the year set,
Yeah.
which has all of our English alternate art exclusive cards. So they'll probably be saved for them. So in 9 months from now. Japan will get them.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think that's exactly where we're going to see them in Japan. So
So
we're
this
good.
is this is the start of that. This is the start of the the English card game generating those cards for that Japanese set. I think they do that maybe because, like, I don't know. They plan sets so far ahead. I can't tell if I haven't been able to figure out if this is the English card game commissioning things that Japan then throws into those end of the year sets, or if it's Japan knows what they're going to have in those end of the year sets and the English card game is just slowly releasing them early because we're not going to have these reprint sets.
I think it's probably some sort of combination of the two, but I think to a large degree, TPCI is probably actually saying, "Hey, creatures, we need some cards. Can you make them happen?"
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next story, which was I guess this is the big story of the week is yeah, that is the last story. Okay, we're on our last news story. The big story of the week is that the Stellar Tera type is coming to the Pokemon TCG in the Stellar Miracle set. Big surprise. Not a surprise.
Big surprise.
Not a surprise. So the Stellar Miracle set trademark, we discovered it in January, and obviously by the name, we thought it was going to introduce the Stellar Tera type, and it certainly is. So Stellar Miracle is going to release on July 19th in Japan. It'll feature Terapagos EX, which again, we expected. According to the set's sell sheet, which we're not allowed to publicly post, it will introduce a new Stellar Tera type. We don't know yet how the card game is going to handle this because they handled the Tera they handled the Tera Pokemon so faithfully to the video games.
Is it handled or bungled? Like I don't know what
that was my joking tone, but I'm told I don't have a joking tone, so that was meant to be sarcasm.
No, I got it.
Oh,
I'm building on that. I'm piling on.
Yeah. I
because
see.
They did not do Terra justice.
No, I don't know what they were thinking, but maybe it'll somehow, I don't know, with whatever they're... So anyway, the Stellar, we don't know how they're going to handle the Stellar Tera type. They could, I put some examples in the story, they could maybe make Tera Pokemon EX printed with a new Stellar type, which would be a brand new type introduced to the card game. Or they could do what they did with the Tera Pokemon and they just get a Stellar rule box that has its own kind of benefits somehow. Or they could do both, or they could do neither. I don't know. We don't know what they're going to do. But
we'll find out.
I
can't wait for them to introduce a new type to the TCG and kill it off after realizing it was a mistake.
Yeah.
They've never done that before.
Yeah, they haven't. Yeah. Poor fairy. But I think like fans have kind of always wanted like I remember even back to like, I don't know, Neo days, fans would always want like a rainbow type Pokemon. So this could be their opportunity to introduce a stellar Tera types that are like rainbow or whatever, because stellar type in the games is they have the every type icon swirling around them. But I feel like that's too cool and they're not going to do it.
It's not even a matter of being too cool. It would be just way too powerful. Can you imagine hitting literally everything except dragon for weakness?
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, they're not going to do it. It's going to be something, I feel like it's going to be something lame.
They're going to have, probably lame, but they're going to...
They bungled Tera types, so...
They're going to have to keep it as safe to the game design as possible. And maybe that's why they bungled Tera, is because they're trying to be safe with the game design for this generation.
Yeah, we said that before.
They're having to backpedal the power creep, but...
We said that before. I think that's exactly what happened. All right, and then so let us know in the comments how you think the Stellar Tera type is going to be handled. And then
Sylveon and Ceruledge are getting Pokemon EX cards.
I was just about to say that. On August 30th, we're going to get 2 pre-constructed decks in Japan called Starter Set Tera Type Stellar, Sylveon EX Stellar Sylveon EX and Stellar Ceruledge EX. So they will be releasing the Sylveon and Ceruledge as Stellar Tera types, whatever that means.
That's cool.
And yeah, I guess that's it. Is that it for the week? Is there anything
I
else
think
we
that's
want to
it.
say?
Yeah.
So in the video games, just in case you don't know, Pokemon that have the Stellar have Stellar as their Tera type become Stellar type when they terrestrialize. This is indicated by a crown over their head that has baby Terapagos at the top and all of the Pokemon type icons swirling around them. As you can see better here on the Terapagos Stellar form. Right here, it's got the baby Terapagos over its head and then the crown with all the types around it. So that is going to be very hard to fit into the card artwork. I feel like they can barely fit the crowns for one type in the card artwork. Can you imagine having to do every single type around them? That's going to be quite the task.
Yeah.
To ask of the artists. So, but maybe they'll do something like maybe the card template will have all of the types on it instead somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll
or maybe it'll just be
change up
generic
the-
CG art that nobody likes. It could be that too.
Probably will. But would it be cool if they changed the card template somehow, because these crowns are barely fitting enough. One crown is barely fitting as is. But that'll be an exciting reveal. So it'll again, Stellar Miracle comes out July 19th. We'll probably see the first card reveals in, say, June, beginning of June. So we're still 3 months away from that.
It's a minute yet.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for the week. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on YouTube. So,
we also appreciate when you write Oddish in the comments for this week's Pokemon.
When you what? Oh,
Right,
wow,
Oddish.
I did not understand that at all. Right, Oddish. Be sure to check Justin Basil's website for the Build and Battle box set list, card list, deck list.
And I'll tweet that out here shortly. So if you're following me on Twitter, you'll be able to find that link quickly.
Yeah, retweet it on the PokeBeach account.
Okay.
And actually, so I'm gonna try to go to a pre-release tomorrow. I think I'm gonna drag my friend there. All right. So before I ramble too much, thank you for listening. Like I said, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you all next week. Go to your Temporal Forces pre-releases. Promote your local game stores that are good and aren't scalping or
Yes, please.
smuggling or whatever. And we'll see you all next week.